In the previous video, we showed that dealing with Windows logs is tricky because of the tabs and spaces that get converted, but there's even more. I learned that there are problems with when you have quotes and left parentheses, and it can be very messy with Windows logs. I consulted with PFH and he showed me a better way. So if we go into any event, I'm going to take the first one in here. This event was obviously nicely parsed. It came from a Windows machine. And if we go here under the payload, again, don't try to grab it like this because you're going to incur in all those problems. But if we go here on base64 and we double click in it, we're going to put it into the clipboard. But we're going to go all the way to the end because there are always characters in here. In here, there's only one equal sign. Sometimes there can be two. So there's a character that denotes the termination of the encode base64, and typically those are one or two equal signs, and when you click on it, it doesn't get grabbed. So if we want to replay these, we can simply go here. I'm going to do echo. I'm going to put the quote. I'm going to paste it. I'm going to go here. I'm going to add that equal sign that we were missing before. I terminate with the double quote, and now I'm going to tell the system, well, decode these in base64. So I do a pipe and then do base64-d for decoding, and the results of that is what we're going to be redirecting into Curator. Before I let that go, let me return in here and make sure that Curator is ready for this. I'm going to go real-time streaming and going back to my Linux box, and I'm going to hit enter. And we get the process, the log replay perfectly, nicely parsed, no stored messages, no anything like that. However, PFH showed me something even more interesting. Obviously, when you go here in Curator, you probably have seen this, that if you go to any of the events and you go here under hex, you see that, you know, it's easy for you to see that there are some spaces, that's the 20, and there are tabs, and but if you are interested in these, basically this is a hex dump. Let me show you a trick, a shell trick to show that. So in the previous command, instead of sending that encoded base64 log to Curator, after it has been decoded with the base64-d, we're going to put it into another pipe, and we're going to do the hex dump. And look at that, it's the same view that we get right here. Further down, if we're going to get all that command converted back, decoded into text, and then converted into hex, because we're going to put it later into an editor, we can use the hex dump with the option -C and then a very large number. I'm going to put 10 million here, and then -PS, and that's going to convert all that log into a hex character that I can put into a text editor. Further down, I can take that content and redirect it into a file. Okay, and if we do we can actually see this in here. I mean, BI is not a good hex editor, but you can use whatever is your favorite hex editor to manipulate the file. And then if you want to convert it back to it, you can actually go back and forth between the two formats. If we go hex dump -R -PS and then put the x.hex file that we converted, we get the stuff back into a text. And finally, if we use the same command that converts it from hex into clear text, and we pipe it into, or redirect it, not pipe it, into the device, the UDP, to send it to Curera, as we have been doing for quite some time, we get that the thing is replayed, nicely parsed, and we haven't altered the content of it. So this gives you the possibility of, if you want to manipulate the files with your hex editor or do other things, this is a way to do it. Again, these are very advanced topics, because that's the nature of this series of videos, and we look forward to get more of these tips from PFH.